We're gonna go ahead and get started with removing some of this stuff. We'll get the doors taped up. We'll check back in.
Don't you have a ratchet?
When you're removing bolts that are have thread certs into fiberglass, metal, that kind of thing, sometimes those thread certs are pretty prone to spinning and then you're in big trouble. Sometimes I feel like the ratcheting motion can be a little bit heavy. You know what I'm saying? Oh, see how much more rough that is instead of this? Oh, it's nice, gentle. Ah! Ow! That's not the last one. All right, so we'll pull this over fender, set this aside. So we're gonna need to pull the rest of that fender in order to gain access to the hinges.
2-piece fenders, 3-piece wheels. What's up?
It's kind of a flex though.
So we'll go ahead and pull the rest of these bolts, get this fender off. I hope we can get to those bottom ones, it looks like.
So on the stock car, on the directions, you had to take the fender off for sure and drop the side skirt.
So you have to take the fender off, which includes dropping the factory side skirt. And it doesn't say you need to take it all the way off. It just wants you to pull like the front few bolts out of it so you can pull it down and gain access to these 2 bolts here that are holding the bottom of the fender. All right, so this basically gives us, with the door closed, full access to these hinges here and allows us to keep the door mostly aligned while we pull the hinges and swap them out.
What is in your hands?
Just some instructions.
Reading instructions.
And I want to say there's one right here behind the door handle. We pull that cover off. This thing should pop off after that. And what we're basically pulling this off for is we're gonna try and get some more slack out of the wiring inside the door so that when the door goes up, our wires aren't just yanked to their limit. Some length in the wires, typically it's pulling out some of the clips that hold the wires to the inside of the door. Stuff kind of like this that are basically holding the wiring where they are. We're gonna have to remove some of those and allow a little bit more to go through the door itself. So we kind of went inside, pulled some of the wiring clips that were holding a lot of the slack to the inside of the door. So we're also going to release the door catch here. That's gonna get removed completely in a little while. Pop this guy off here for now.
Yeah, the new ones have their own built-in like bump stop. So you get rid of the door catch, I believe on like all their kits. Yeah, it's pretty close, dude. I hope it works. I'm a little worried about it.
As soon as we pull hinges off, we've got one latch holding the door in, and it's the rear latch, so.
Oh my God, if the door just fell over, I would cry.
I would probably just walk out.
Give up on cars.
That's it. This is.
Dude, they got 3 strips, little extra, pinky finger there, little extra enforcement there.
I'm not done. I'll tape the whole thing if I have to. Now we're supposed to remove the factory door hinges. These 2 guys here, so we'll take those 4 bolts off. So basically we're gonna make some spacers to go in the back side of the door so that when the front load is released, it doesn't just pinch closed, even with the tape. So we got ourselves some painting stir sticks. Wrap them up a few times here with some tape.
Going the extra mile, dude.
Well, this should make them a little bit thicker so they fit in nice and snug.
And not scratch the beautiful paint job.
That too. Or I wasn't even thinking about that.
Oh, well. I'm just gonna go ahead and pick that back up. That was scary.
So basically it works the same for some of the movement as your factory hinges, allowing it to open up. But there's a gas shock that goes from here to to here. So as soon as you get past this little knob here, that's gonna cause that gas shock to ride along this bump stop here until it releases, and then allow it to spring upwards.
Those look aggressive, dude.
You'll notice when I open the door, it dropped down a little bit. That's okay. There is an actual adjustment on the hinge, and this changes the height of the back so that you can match the striker plate to the striker on the back. So we're gonna go ahead and adjust that so that the striker mates up nicely.
So as he adjusts that bolt, it'll actually angle the door up. So because we have everything taped and all of the little wedges in, it should probably bolt in the right position. Just gotta adjust that there striker.
So here, you want to match this up with your striker here, and that's what actually latches your door closed and allows you to lock your door. Kind of just guide in there and just shut like it did from the factory. So
Beautiful.
we're just gonna go ahead and lock this nut down on the adjuster, and we should be good to go on this side.
Let's see.
There's like these two wires for the door lock. They're like already super tight, so they give you some wires. We're just gonna extend them out, and then we're not gonna use that corrugated covering like we said, so we have some nice covering that we'll put on the main harness.
All right, so up to this point, we've extended our wires inside the door, pulled some out. We're gonna do a covering on that, so don't even look at it. And now we're getting ready to install our high pressure shock. So this is what's going to actually lift the door up when it passes this point. This is very important. They say it'll void your warranty if you don't do this. You're gonna want to get a little grease there. Grease up this shoulder. Okay, so once that shoulder is greased up, you're gonna wanna, we will get that through there. And then they want you to Loctite. Ooh, a little hot here. So we'll just put a little dab of Loctite on there. Make sure she don't come loose. And that goes right on the bracket there. Okay, so we got that nice and tight. It's Loctited. We've got grease in our Zerk fittings here. There's 1, 2, 3 there. Now, we just have to lift the door, set down into its pocket there.
Oh, oh, so sick. Definitely needed this.
All right, so next, and probably for most of you, the final step is gonna be getting the fender installed again. Basically, what they want you to do is kind of trim all this out here. Make sure when you cut stuff, you don't leave it looking like this. This is terrifying. Clean this up real nice and maybe even throw a piece of like sheet metal edging on there just for a finishing touch. So
It's that extra mile, dude. Number 1.
under fender.
Under fender. Oh yeah. The under fender. All bolted up, trimmed, clearing well. Doors all done. Just gotta put the over fender Johnson on. That one.
All right, so we got this side all finished, so I'm gonna go ahead and show you how it works. Pretty happy with it, actually. These doors have a little bit of weight to them, so it opens completely normal like a regular door, and then you give it a slight push up. And she is Lambo. Look at that. Don't mind any of that. We're doing a little bit more work inside, but I'm actually very happy with the finished product here. Shuts nice and clean. All right, so now that we got this side done, we're not gonna show you the other side because you're basically gonna do everything that you did on this side, on that side. And it's pretty easy, self-explanatory if you already done one side or watched this side on our video. But we wanna get that side done as quickly as possible so you guys can see them both up. All right, so now that we've got this side all finished, all buttoned up, you're basically gonna do the exact same thing on the other side. If you watch this video, the other side should go nice and smoothly. In fact, we didn't want to show you all that. We wanted to just get it done as quickly as possible. And there it is. All right, guys. Well, if you enjoyed this video, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Turn on those notifications. We got awesome DIY videos coming out. We've got all kinds of different stuff. Some how-tos. We've also got some comedy out there, which is kind of our bread and butter. We love doing them. So if you guys like this, go ahead and hit some comments below as well.